What's up, Cave Dwellers? It's me, Darren. I'm here without a mask, still at our temporary studio booth here at the RPG Lounge. We do need to do an episode today. We've got a lot of cool interviews, and while we're working on a new studio, I figured we'll go ahead and get some of these interviews out, which are really, really cool, including today's episode, which I'm sure you saw on the title of the video, but we still need to talk about it. But before we get into it, let's thank our sponsor, that is RPG. RPGhiring.com. Make sure you check them out if you're looking for a new career. They're building people, changing lives. And now for the topic, but you already know it, that is VHS DNA. And some of you may say, hey, what is that, Darren? That is a new service they're offering to grade VHS tapes. And how cool is that? You can grade comics, you can grade games, cards, books, you name it. You can probably already grade it. But there hasn't been anything for VHS movies, which is crazy to me because people really like VHS movies. It's kind of where everything got started like that. I mean, I grew up on them. A lot of us did grow up on them, and I wore a bunch of them out. And now it's kind of cool to look back and say, hey, I can grade some of those old movies that I had from my childhood and put them up on a shelf. And in the interview we do here shortly, you're going to see the cool grading case that they do. It's they hand make them all. They're not like CGC or CBCS where they doing comics where they just slap them together and glue them or whatever. They make all theirs, and they're custom. So if you send in like a 3-box set, or if you send in a clamshell plastic like a Disney one, or if you send in a crazy case, they're going to make something for you, and that is really, really awesome. The interview is really cool, but before we get started, I just want to say I thought that the concept was so cool. I went out and ordered and found some sealed inbox VHS tapes here, and I'm going to show them off to you before I send them in, because we were actually going to do this episode last week, but they hadn't come in yet, so I had to push it back. So we're going to start off here with the 1995. Is this 5 or 7? I think it's 95, actually. This is the 95. This is the year I was born. The 95 Star Wars trilogy, the original movies, before any of the prequels came out. This is really cool. I don't think I had this one, but I did have this one when I was a kid. I wore this one smooth out. This is the 97 trilogy. It is the special edition, the gold box. Both of these are actually sealed. This one's got all the stickers on it, and there's on the backside here or somewhere. On the backside back here, the Fox logo is still on there. This one has it as well, right here. But the sad thing is I'm not going to get a good grade on it because my box got damaged in shipping. But that will be okay because it's just something cool to have. I can only imagine seeing this eventually whenever they get to it with a nice case on it, with cool stickers on it, and whether they take it out or however they do it, I don't know. They'll just have to do that on their own and surprise me with them both. But it's going to be really cool to put on the shelf, maybe one in the cave, one in my own office, and I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So we'll get right on to the interview with Cole. He was an awesome guy, and it's a really cool company. I'm glad we got to do that interview, so hope you enjoy it.
Hey, welcome back to Gabe's Cave booth, everybody. We at Collecticon number 2 here in Frisco, Texas. I have a very interesting gentleman here. I go by there and something catches my eye, and you may can see it on his knee. Do you guys know what that is? It's the first ever grading service for VHS tapes.
Yeah, man.
What? Why?
Why not?
Exactly. That's the point. That is the point. Some of you people have those things still. It might be a box in your attic, but those things are a collector's item.
You'd be surprised how many VHS out there are rare, collectible, everything. It's all about, it's pure nostalgia in your hand. Who doesn't love that?
That's right.
Video games came around. I loved what Wata Games did. They were the benchmark for my case. I followed their lead. What they were doing was perfect, so I felt like I had to come out here, and if I'm going to do something like this, it needed to be perfect. So I kind of put my best foot forward. It took me a year to design this case, design the formula. We do sleeve grade, tape grade, and edition scale. And the edition scale is kind of our bread and butter. It talks to the rarity, of certain releases and titles. And yeah, man.
All right, we're going to come back to that cool stuff here in a minute.
Sorry.
All right. No apology. Tell everybody who you are, where you from.
So my name's Cole Hitt. I'm from Sherman, Texas. Yeah, I come from a supplier for Walmart. This is my background, and been a big lifelong collector, autographs, movie posters, VHS, just a huge movie buff, movie guy my entire life, and it feels like this is the ultimate passion project for me. Finally, all of this useless movie knowledge I've had is paying off. But yeah, man.
Who signed that?
So this is one of our signature edition VHS right here, signed by Uma Thurman in the yellow paint.
So that's the yellow label.
Yep.
Edition of your.
Yep, exactly. That's the special collector's edition, signature edition by Uma Thurman. So the value add in the signature editions is crazy. I mean, not only are you getting the signature, the VHS, you're getting it graded and encapsulated as well. So just the ultimate collector item, the most universal collector item on the planet, I would say. Everybody's got a favorite movie.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to get up just a second. I'm going to show you guys this.
Who wouldn't love that?
Yeah, man. So tell us just a little bit, about your grading scale.
Yeah. So the grading scale, so first off, it's the sleeve condition, which is obviously the box, the infrastructure of the actual VHS itself, and then tape grade, which is the interior tape, checking for sticker residue, all that good stuff. If it's factory sealed, then that's an automatic 10 for the tape because it's in there, it's never been touched. And then comes kind of the special part is our edition scale, which, like I said, it really talks to the fact of how many releases and variants there are of certain titles. You can't grade a first edition Star Wars like you would the most recent Star Wars. So we're rewarding the person that's collected something for longer. Versus kind of some of the newer stuff, and that's really how you kind of separate yourself. If you've got something really old and unique, that cream will rise to the top real quick.
Tone Rodriguez is a buddy of ours. Y'all know that. I told him about it, and he was like, what? But then he goes down there, and he looks at it, and he's like, this is pretty awesome. Then he comes back and he sits down over here last night and he's like, I've got this movie and this movie. I'm going to send them. He was so excited about it. He was like, mine will be the first one ever graded and it'll probably be one of the only ones that ever exists. And I ain't going to tell y'all what movie it is. Tone can tell y'all later, but he's a super big fan of what it is. But he's really excited about being able to get this cool case. Now,
that was one of my favorite visits yesterday. We turned a non-believer into a believer like that.
Right.
It's all about getting your hand on this. It's been fun to come to this show. The first time people are really getting to touch and feel our product. Instagram pictures can only go so far, but until you touch and feel a substantial case, man, it's something else.
You guys might not be able to see that from what I just held, but it's literally two cases. The movie itself is in a case, and then that case is in a larger case. So unlike a CGC book, if it falls off the shelf, it's probably only going to break the outside case.
Exactly. That was one of the big reasons why I did kind of the case within the case, is because if anything ever happens to this base, you were to break it off, chip it off, then I in-house would remove the VHS from the interior case. And makes it a lot easier, just in case anything ever does happen.
Now, those cases are probably a little bit more costly than, let's say, a CGC case.
Right.
So is there any type of, insurance with you guys? Like, if something does happen to it and they send it back, is it full cost again?
Absolutely no. That's in our terms and conditions. If someone were to break this, you just send it back to us and we'll recase it for free and get it back to you.
That doesn't mean go run over it with a car or anything.
Yeah.
But
you hope that doesn't become a trend.
Right.
Yeah.
Accidents happen, and obviously these guys understand that. So
Absolutely.
Can they do this now?
What do you mean?
They can send movies in right now?
Absolutely. You go on our website, VHSDNA.com. We made the submission process as easy as possible. Just click through it. Is it sealed? Is it unsealed? Is it a clamshell? Is it a double tape, single tape, a declared value? We've also got some add-ons, if you've got a VHS that's near and dear to you that has stickers all over it or something and you want those removed, we provide that service. Really neat website. We spent a lot of time designing it to be as user-friendly as possible.
When you say clamshell, you mean like the old Disney movies?
Disney clamshells, yeah. And then double tapes like Braveheart, The Godfather, Titanic is probably the most common double tape out there.
What about like a 3-movie series, like the Star Wars series?
You know what? Yeah, I got that question a lot, like the trilogy packs. So what I did is I developed a trilogy box, basically, that will take each VHS out of your trilogy box and put them side by side, all 3 of them, with 3 different grades above them in one case. Really neat concept. That's coming out in about 4 or 6 weeks.
That blows my mind because now I have a new question that I bet Tony didn't even answer. When you have those trilogy boxes, like where you have to pull the boxes apart and all 3 movies are in there?
Yeah.
Do you guys do anything with the...
That's a great question. What we're trying to do right now is develop for the function... Let me back up. For the function over form customer who wants to watch their movies, I'm getting a lot of that feedback like, hey, I want to watch this movie. What we'll do, a service that we're going to provide, we're going to call it Slab It, is we'll take the VHS out of the sleeve, professionally press down the sleeve, put it in a VHS DNA slab flat, and then we'll put the tape back in a VHS DNA sleeve, send both back to you so you can watch the movie. So to circle back to your question, absolutely. To me, that's a piece of art as well. Like every piece of that trilogy is something tangible that you love and know. So I take those 3 out, I would totally slab and break down that box and flatten it out, man. Yeah. So you get every piece of it.
Does the actual function of the movie have anything to do with your...
No, we don't do any type of function. I stay away from that just because, that's just opening up a whole new can of worms. So yeah, we're purely form over function, but for that person that still wants to watch it, that's why I invented the slab.
Because the last thing you want is like somebody to send in a movie and then your VCR eat it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm taking on enough responsibility as it is, taking care of your precious VHS. The last thing I want to do is stick it in VCR and it eats the tape or anything. Yeah.
So like they have like repaired, on the stuff for CGC and CBCS. It'll have a purple label. What about like movies that came from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or Video Giant or movie rental places?
What about them? Will we grade them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Even if they say like they got the Blockbuster thing on there?
Yeah, absolutely. To me, some of those are my favorite VHS that have those old nostalgic Blockbuster stickers. I think there's definitely a market out there that people will love that. Eat that up.
I'm torn, I'm a fan of the streaming services, but let me tell you what I miss. I miss being bored on Friday evening, wanting to watch a new movie, going into a video store, walking up to that guy behind the counter that's seen everything and go, man, I'm wanting to watch an action movie, dude. What do you got for me? And him, man, come here. I miss that experience, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the best. You walk down, walking down the aisle there through Blockbuster, and it was always fun to the knowledgeable people at Blockbuster that, like you said, what's the hot movie this week? What's coming out? Right. What do I need to see? And they were always right there for you.
Yeah, and my guy was so good. He knew exactly what movies I wanted to stay away from, too. I'd walk up there with one to rent. And he'd be like, dude, you don't want to watch that one. Put that one back.
I think my favorite part of going into Blockbuster was as soon as you entered, you turned around to look what was coming out over the next month. They updated that right behind their kiosk there. That was always the best part. Like, oh, man, we got something to look forward to.
Right. Now you got to Google it. There's no way to know for sure.
Yeah. No.
Man, this has been a cool interview. And you told them you have a website?
VHSDNA.com. Grade and encapsulate VHS tapes. I will say we are going to drop our submission prices next Friday. So follow us on Instagram. Look for those updates. But yeah, we're dropping our submission pricing significantly to really kind of kick this thing off.
All right. I do remember you said something else, and I want to make sure I do this before we say bye. You're going to have your first ever auction.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the feedback so far is, you know, since you're grading this and some of these are from your personal collection, how are you going to retail this, or how much is this? And I tell everybody the same thing. We're not going to dictate a retail price on these things because that's just not right, in my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to start an auction platform on VHSDNA, and we're going to start everything at just $100, and we'll let the people tell us what it's worth. You might get a steal in there, especially on the front end of this. While it's kind of in its growth period, yeah, there'll be some steals for sure. But yeah, this is just pure passion project for me, man. I couldn't be more excited. This is everything. I feel like I've been building up my whole entire life for this moment.
And you guys have to remember things like, I know people that go to cons and people that do things like this. You guys know that, but you guys that don't know that are interested in something like this, it wasn't free to get Uma Thurman to sign this book. I mean, to sign this movie. She didn't do that for free, more than likely. Okay? They charge money. Actors and actresses charge money to sign stuff, whatever it is that they sign. So when you see a movie like this come up and you see a price on it starting out at $150 on the auction or $100 on the auction, you got to realize that it probably cost $75 just to get her to sign that movie. So it's just like the comic book world. You know, a lot of these comic book artists at these cons, they will sign their books for free if you come see them and hang out with them. But like actors and actresses that come to these cons, they sit down and their whole purpose of being here is they don't have a product, they are their product. So they charge for their autographs and their pictures. They are their own product. They're selling themselves. So you guys got to remember that when you start looking at prices. But don't let that kind of stuff scare you, because this might be the next thing. I mean, obviously they grade video games.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, WATA. Once I saw what WATA Games was doing with video games, I thought, what a great idea. And you know, I've had a VHS collection for 25 years. I thought, man, I think the collecting world, you know, people are starved for new content and, you know, something new and different and unique. And, yeah, here we are, man, trying to something for everybody. Everybody has a favorite movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, you might not ever want to get, you know, your whole collection graded, but you might have been like me and, you know, when I was little, I wore out the first Mighty Ducks movie.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, I mean, I would, like, if I still had that would be one that I would send in to get graded. Not because it would ever be worth a whole bunch, but just because I could display that movie in there in my man cave.
That's exactly why I started this company. I love hearing that story. If you had that old Mighty Ducks, yeah, what's better than send it in, get it protected, set it back up on your shelf, and now it'll last you forever, and you'll always be able to look at that, remember those memories, and connect with it.
And it's
That's
a
what it's all
conversation
about.
piece.
Yeah, it's a great conversation piece. The reaction the last 2 days at Collecticon has been incredible. Seeing people's faces light up when they actually touch the case and feel it has been amazing. I love it.
So all of you guys that might have had that Metallica VHS tape and went to a concert and had them sign it, now there's something for you guys.
Yeah, the signature editions are great. I love how you talked about that. It's really a great value add. Our signature series are pretty cool. We've got Al Pacino, Harrison Ford, Uma Thurman signed some. Yeah, some great VHS out there that just add, you know, an extra layer of cool to it. I mean, who wouldn't want this signed by Uma Thurman?
She is the bomb.
Yeah, I got a bunch of Kill Bill signed by her.
Ooh.
It's awesome. Yeah, some cool stuff, man. I'm excited as this thing grows and we start this auction process. I'm about to unleash some of the rarest and coolest VHS on the planet.
I want to say I had Kill Bill on VHS, but that was one of the first, that and The Matrix. Like, the minute I could get it on DVD, I went and got them on DVD. Like when I finally got a DVD player, you know.
Yeah, actually Kill Bill VHS is a super rare one. It was kind of towards the end when they were moving over to DVD, so they just didn't make a lot of them. So, I mean, even your biggest blockbusters, some of those are rare titles out there just because of the time period and what was happening. It's neat. The last VHS ever produced was A History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen in 2006. First VHS ever, Sound of Music, Patton, and MASH came out in 1977. So from 77 to 2006, it lasted.
Do you have one of the first VHS?
I do. I have all three of those and a few copies, yeah. I love collecting the old stuff.
What about the last VHS?
Absolutely. I got a bunch of History of Violence.
That's what I'm talking
For
about.
sure. I can't wait to put some of those out there and just see the reaction and the story behind it, knowing that that's the last VHS ever produced. That's neat.
And you know, is this your first con?
This is our first con.
So when you guys get rolling and you actually start making some money off of this, get a little bigger booth.
Yeah.
And then you can do like a come in a museum, let people see that. And
Absolutely.
put the little thing on there. This is the first, one of the first VHSs ever made.
Yeah, so we're actually planning on, we got accepted to MegaCon in Orlando, and we'll be back here in Dallas for the Dallas Fan Expo in September. And yeah, I plan on blowing those up, really get our brand out there, let people come and talk to us and know what we're all about. Because like I said, I can only go so far on Instagram, but until you meet me, talk to me, talk about the process and really know it, you don't believe it. I'm about to resurrect this old media relic and bring it back.
VHS is going to be popping again, and you're the guy that did it.
VHS, man, all the way.
Man, hey, I appreciate you guys coming out again and watching this. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope some of you guys are already interested. Go to his website, check it out. It doesn't hurt to go look. If you got any questions, I'm sure you could reach out to him and they'd answer it.
Absolutely.
Uncle Nasty again, guys. Appreciate it,
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully you enjoyed that interview with Cole. Again, he was really cool, and thank you, Cole, for letting us interview you. We're really looking forward to it. I know Chris and I know Brandon both. Brandon was supposed to be here today, and he couldn't make it, but I know they both also have some movies to send in, and I'm sure we'll find some other stuff. The whole concept behind it is just really, really cool. I don't really have a lot else to say, so we'll jump right into the card giveaway. And we are giving away, I actually don't have him in my hand here, Cyrus Sharecat, he's a super cool dude. Those cards he had are sick. I'm just saying, you can't go wrong with them. So we're going to go right into the giveaway, running the winners now. My goodness, congratulations. We had some left over from the first go-around because it was before we had the new landing page, so people didn't send in their addresses or didn't respond to us or whatever. So we had a few extras, and we decided to give away 7 of those. So 7 winners, congratulations. And the loot box winner, we do love you, and we hope you enjoy your awesome loot box that is coming to you. And now it's time to meet the artist. This week's artist is Ashley Marsh. We finally sat down and got a good time to do an interview with her. What an awesome person. We enjoyed the interview and the talk afterwards. Hopefully you enjoy that interview now and her cards as well. Hey everyone, I'm Darren. I'm here with Ashley Marsh. And this has been the most hectic interview to get in position and ready to go. And I don't know why it's been so bad, but it has. Anyways, this is Ashley. We'll get started off here. I have a couple questions for you, and we'll start off with the first one here. It is, who would win in a fight, a street fight, a taco, or a grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese.
Yeah? Why?
I feel like the cheese is more secure than the taco filling.
That's good. That's good. I've asked everybody this, And some people can't give me a real explanation. They're just like, I feel like tacos are more street. I can like the taco can use its shell to like break a chip off and stab. And I'm like, y'all are crazy. It's just a simple answer.
No.
But anyway.
Grilled cheese is softer, so if it gets punched, it's not going to crack like a taco shell would.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
Team
do have
grilled
another
cheese.
question for you here that I'm also asking people. Do you know what a kaiju is, number one?
Monster type thing, right?
Yeah, it's like Godzilla. It's like a giant.
I should know. I'm
scary
looking at
monster.
Ultraman set. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a giant scary monster in like Japanese lore. Okay, so
Okay.
you know who Paul Bunyan is in Babe the Big Blue Ox?
Yes.
Yeah. So is Paul Bunyan and Babe the Big Blue Ox, are they kaijus?
I reckon they'd be redneck kaijus. Yes.
Redneck. They're from California.
Yeah. Well, like country, not Japanese.
Like, definitely not Japanese, but are they kaijus? I've had so many people tell me no, and then I'm like, hang on. This is also just dumb, and I probably shouldn't be showing like this, but I don't have any other setup. Where's that picture at? I know I didn't delete it. Because this is part of the question. I have to ask everybody this. And then I show people this picture, and I'm like, can you see? He's as big as a mountain. Is that not a kaiju? Like, I'm just saying, that's...
I guess.
I'm Team Kaiju. I don't know. All right, well, we'll go on here with some real questions. How long have you been drawing?
Since I can remember. Like, it's like my earliest childhood memories I've been drawing. Like, I picked up a pencil and just never stopped. So.
Like I just showed you those two, Brandon's children drawing?
Yeah, like that's...
Yeah, they're
I
small.
have pictures of me with my little easel, like when I was like 2 or 3, with my little art easel, and I was already painting and stuff. So, like, yeah, as long as I can remember, I've been doing art. Professionally,
So what did you start off with?
Acrylic paint and oil paint. That's how mine. Yeah.
Just picked up the hard stuff and
those
went right
little,
into it.
yeah, those little paint by numbers. My dad and my grandfather would buy those for me, like, and every weekend they'd sit me down, like, "Oh, you paint this, paint this, paint this." I was like, "All right," and that's how I learned to paint, like with shading and colors and all of that.
So, what got you into art?
I don't know. I've always had that passion. There wasn't any. I can't remember a time that it's not been a part of my life. So I guess I was just born with that passion to do it.
Just passion for art always. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't have a passion like that.
I've never wanted to do anything else.
It's good to have one and pursue one, and that's part of the reason why we do this here. At least for me, this is one reason why I like to do it, is because I like to see people have the passion for something and keep doing it and never stop. And even when times are hard, because art is not the most paying job, can be, I suppose,
Right. Yes.
properly, but most of the time it's probably not. But you keep doing it and you just keep going through it, and I admire that. So, all right. Which of your art pieces do you like the most?
In general, I like the pet portraits that I do the most. I love painting people's dogs. It makes me so happy, like all their little expressions and stuff. So if I had to pick any favorite pieces, it would be one of the pet portraits that I've done in the past.
Pet portraits. I don't guess I've seen those. Most of the stuff I see on yours is just Star Wars and a little.
It's been a while. I don't get many requests for them, but when I do, they're my favorite.
So do you do just dogs or do you cats?
I've done dogs. I've done cats. I've done cows, foxes, anything people want. I like painting animals. Right. Yeah.
That's new. All right. You hear that, Allison? You probably didn't because you don't have headphones on. She does pet portraits. Portraits? I don't know how to say that. We get our 2 cats. Allison says don't play. Anyways, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
It's going to be a little confrontational, but I'm the Ewok Adventures are my favorite. Like, I know some people don't like them, but I love those movies.
Right.
Those are the movies that got me into Star Wars.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you watched them since they
I
put them on
love
Disney Plus?
Yes. Yep. I mean,
Yeah,
I
awesome.
tried to get my kids to watch them, but yeah, they weren't feeling it.
Yeah. And I guess those are technically a movie, aren't they? Is there 2 of them?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, I give that to you. All right. So what's your favorite like saga movie?
Not Saga. Rogue One would probably have to be my favorite of like all the newer movies that they've done.
Still dancing around.
I think it. Okay, if I had to pick of the 9, probably Return of the Jedi would be my favorite again because of the Ewoks.
All right. Yeah, there you go. That's one of my favorites too. Out of the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi is also my favorite. But I do like the first one, second one, and third one as well. I don't care for the sequels at all. But that's just me.
No, they're not my favorite.
No, anybody that's been watching Star Wars for a long time kind of just doesn't. I don't know. And some people do, some people don't. But
yeah, I appreciate them because they're Star Wars,
doing.
but yeah, they weren't.
I feel like they didn't really have the same vision between the directors. So it's like George Lucas, obviously one brain going through all of it, but then they didn't have the same vision for the 3. So it's hard to do that. It's hard to make it link up. But who's your favorite Star Wars character? It's Wicket, isn't it?
Yeah, if I had to choose, it'd be Wicket for sure. I am a big Ewok fan. Yes, I love
yeah,
Ewoks.
because you said
like
Ewok,
I mean, you can probably see the village behind me. Like I've got all kinds of Ewok stuff. So.
Do you have the original village? Is it the original village?
Yeah, it's the Kenner, and I've got the catapult and the little glider and all the little Ewoks. Got the whole set.
I have most of the set and a couple of the platforms in a tub in storage. I need to clean them off and see what I'm missing, but I don't know what all pieces I am missing. It was given to me a long time ago. In this galaxy, though. Are you taking any commissions right now?
No, I am backed up like 4 or 5 months right now with commissions and card sets. So I have a list, and I want to be completely done with that list before I take on anything else, just so there's not a long wait time for people.
I don't blame you. I'm currently waiting like a year and a half out on one right now, but I'm okay with that. So I guess if people were okay with it, but I'm with you there. I wouldn't want people to have to wait either because they kind of get impatient or whatever. So, however, how can people find you in the event that they do want a commission or they want to keep up with you, or whenever you say, "Hey, commission list is open" or whatever? Little plug here.
My Facebook. I don't have a business page on Facebook, so it's just my personal page. But like, they can add me as a friend or just follow. It's either or. It's fine. So that's where I do most of my business.
I was going to say, do you do anything on Instagram or anywhere else? Oh, no.
I do have an Instagram.
Oh, there you are. You're back. Okay.
Okay. I do have an Instagram. I'm not as active on there. But, yeah. I'm not active. I don't even remember the username. Not active on there.
Okay. All right.
It's Ashley Marsh something.
We follow you. I can send it to you if you want. I think we follow you.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna post it on here anyways. Just because I like to have a little bit of information about you in the description. Just like shout out our artist. Is there anything else you wanted to say to anybody? Maybe to somebody who's aspiring to be an artist or anything.
Just don't stop. Being a full-time artist is very hard, but it is doable. I had to work a job that I hated for like 9 years before I could finally become a real full-time artist. So it can happen. It's just you have to really stick with it and put the work in for it. But if you want it, you can get it.
Never quit. Never quit on your dreams.
Right.
Ever. Yeah, never do that. I hate seeing that. But, all right, before we lose you to a tropical storm and other reasons of the unknown, I don't know. Thank you for being on here with us. I really did not want to miss this interview, and I'm glad that we could make it work, and I'm sure everybody else will be glad as well. And, we can't leave yet. We haven't gone over your cards. What are we doing? We can't leave yet. So we'll just go over these fairly quick here. We have ourselves a Catwoman, and as I go over these, just kind of tell everybody like what was your, I guess, your reasoning for doing them, or just kind of what you were into and whatnot. So we have ourselves a Catwoman, and again, I'm sorry everybody, we're not in our studio, we don't have the overhead camera, so we're really cool.
Yeah, I love Michelle Pfeiffer, so that's why she's my favorite Catwoman.
I think that's everybody's favorite, and I know Ronnie Crowther is going to try to steal that from us. Ronnie Crowther, right here. Ronnie Crowther is going to try to steal that from us. He is big with Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Like, he's like trying to collect.
I love her. I cosplayed her a few years ago. Yeah, so she's my favorite. Yes.
Awesome. And this is Batgirl?
Yes, from the original, like the 66.
66? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. That's who I thought it was, but I'm not the biggest on superheroes. I like Star Wars. And
I really try to go with classic characters. Yeah.
I could tell them these are really cool. From 66, I believe, as well.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his car. We have a Spock? I know that one. That's a cool Spock, actually. Really, really solid detail here, and lots of detail even in the background as well. And I love how you did the for those that didn't see it, the backgrounds. They're all just kind of pastel, but it's cool. A lot of people don't do backgrounds, or they'll do try to over detail the background, and it doesn't pop well. I don't know. We have ourselves a Barf from Spaceballs. That's right. It's also a random one, but I think we've seen it before. I don't remember. It might have been yours that I'm thinking of when we first got them in, because you're one of the first card sets we got back in the last interview we've done for no other reason besides our own procrastination. I don't know why. I have a C-3PO, and again with the awesome. Did you do this in patterns of 3? Like the space background, because you have 3 really awesome space backgrounds and then 3 really awesome. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. Howard the Duck is also pastel.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Is a classic. We have Sloth from the Goonies. Just try to hold it up here so everybody can see it. Is that also Catwoman there?
The 66 too.
66 Catwoman. Okay. Cool. We have a Gremlin, and I don't know which Gremlin that is. Is that
It's Greta. Greta.
Okay.
Is her name. She's from the sequel.
Right. The sequel. I don't know that I've ever seen the sequel. I've seen the first one. It kind of freaked me out when I was a kid, I think.
Oh, you should watch the sequel.
I should watch the sequel. I don't know. I've never seen. This is Mars Attacks, right?
Yes.
I've never seen Mars Attacks, but I keep seeing people draw cards, so I'm like, I really need to watch it now. So,
if you like good cheesy movies, then yeah, you would like that.
Is it something that's show on Sci-Fi, like Sharknado, cheesy?
Yeah, it would probably be that level of cheese. It's okay. Good stuff though.
Cool. All right, I'll have to watch it. We have a Superman, and is that Christopher Reeves? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The original Superman, I believe. We have a Wonder Woman, and I do not remember her name, but you're going to say it, and I'll remember it.
Linda Carter.
That's right. That's my mom's favorite. And this one's kind of cool. You have the OG Hulk. And what's that on there?
I forgot you all did that. That's good.
We did do that, but I don't know what this card is for. So if you're watching this right now, I don't know if this is going to be for a giveaway right now or a future thing we're going to do. So I wanted to show it off anyways because it was such a cool card, and we did take it with us to get signed. We did have this signed by... Lou Ferrigno, sorry. My mom went blank there. In person, we were sat right across from him at his booth, or right there with his booth. So I don't know what we're doing with it. It may be something else, but we'll figure it out and we'll let everybody know. And last but not least, we have probably some of the coolest cards we've seen so far. We have Sam, and not just Sam, but Sam was a part of a three-piece puzzle done between Candace Daly and Jay Manchand. So the cool part is, I guess it's the cool part. I don't know. I don't know if it was cool to them or I don't know. But nobody chose Frodo, which is part. I don't know. Hopefully you can see this. Which is part of the puzzle here, and they also. Which piece is which? Is yours 3?
Yep. It goes like that.
Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. They also did not choose Smeagol. So, with that being said, the 3-piece set is here. And I remember saying before that if somebody wanted to win one, they had to grab all 3. But now, I'm thinking to myself, do we just give them all away at one time? So, number 1 place, if you wanted to win all 3, should we just? What do you think? Do you think, since you're the last artist to do the interview, you're the last one that had the cards here, and all 3 are here, if first place wants it out of your winnings, should we just give them all 3?
I think that would be best. Just from the collector's point of view, it's hard to put puzzles together out in the wild.
Right. It very much is. I have several puzzle pieces from Star Wars that I am still missing. I have been trying to hunt them down, but the artist will not give me because he knows who has the other 2 pieces. I'm like, just give them to me. Sadly. So, I think that's what we're going to do. I think if you win first place and you want the Smeagol, or you want the 3-piece set, the puzzle here with Smeagol, Frodo, and Sam, you have choice of it. But if you don't and you want one of these other awesome cards, second place, third place, however it goes down, and ends up that way, I think you're going to get it. So, that's the coolest thing to do, at least for me. All right, now that we've gone over the cards, I think that's everything. Is there anything else you had to say?
Thanks for having me on and being patient through the storm.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on and being patient with us and us procrastinating. Other than that, you have a super awesome shirt, and thank you for being with us. What an awesome interview with Ashley Marsh. And we actually talked afterwards for like 20 or 30 minutes about Star Wars and all the cool stuff that she does. She is really cool. She's really cool. If you're looking for some work, wait for her like whatever, I don't remember what it was, 5-month wait or whatever it is to jump on there because she has some cool stuff. Also, the sequels, I'm just saying. But yeah, we have our cards here. And don't forget that if you're jumping in on this giveaway and you really like Lord of the Rings, that we've decided that number 1 spot will get all 3 of these, which is really, really cool if you're looking to collect a 3-piece set. And we might have done this for Series 1. We didn't have 3 different artists. And again, this is Candace Daly. This is oil paint. That's crazy. This is Jay Manchand. This one is also crazy good. And then Ashley Marsh. These are some of the coolest artists ever to just jump in on like this and do from across the world. I mean, Candace is in like mid-America, Ashley's over on the beach, and then Jay is not even in America. So the fact that they all got together, did not put their cards together, and just and did this awesome puzzle piece is really cool. So no, I'm not saying first place is going to get it. I'm saying whoever chooses this. So if first wants Spock, first is going to get Spock, and if second wants this, second's going to get it. So whoever chooses this is going to get it. So I think it's awesome that we're going to do that here like that. So other than that, again, thanks Ashley for doing the interview. I know you were nervous with it. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Thank you, Cole, for doing the interview with us with VHS DNA. If anybody's wanting to check them out, make sure you look up their website. It's VHSDNA.com. They just recently lowered the prices for everything, or if they haven't already, they're going to. He says it in the interview, I believe. Really cool grading service. If you've got those old movies you want to send in just for a cool wall piece or a shelf piece, make sure you hit them up. They're really cool. And I think they're going to be doing some auctions for some autograph stuff. I need to hop on some of those. I saw some of the stuff they were going to be giving away there. Really, really cool stuff. Autograph stuff, sealed movies, just crazy stuff. Stuff. There, and he's, I think, one of the biggest VHS collectors in the world, like 25,000 or something like that, some crazy number. I don't know. Anyways, thanks again to our sponsor. That's rpghiring.com. And I don't have anything else to say, so I'm going to let you go. See you later. Bye.